There are two major differences between the two Scorsese muses, in my opinion: the transformative performances and playing different roles. Sure, DiCaprio and De Niro have similar sounding names, but for me, the similarities end there. De Niro is light years ahead of DiCaprio as an actor. Even in Killers of the Flower Moon, he gave a fantastic performance at the age of 80 plus. But when De Niro is cast in a Scorsese film, you know you're going to be getting something special. And not just special, but new, as the duo even wanted to make sure everything they did together wasn't a repeat of what came before. I mean, compare Johnny Boy to Travis Bickle. Compare Bickle to Jake LaMotta. Compare him to Jimmy in Goodfellas, to Max Cady in Cape Fear, to Rupert Pupkin in The King of Comedy, to Frank Sheeran in The Irishman. These performances are wildly varied, very different. It boggles the mind that these are all even the same actor. Has there ever been a DiCaprio performance in a Scorsese film as contrasting as Travis Bickle or Rupert Pupkin? To me, De Niro is very much an actor, but DiCaprio is a film star, and it shows in the performance, regardless of however DiCaprio wants to pass himself off as a thespian. Then there's the kind of role De Niro plays in a Scorsese film, as well as the fact that there's often gaps between the films they make. You don't get bored of De Niro in a Scorsese film because he switches it up. He was a supporting character in Mean Streets, a lead in Taxi Driver, a co-lead in New York, New York, the lead in Raging Bull, the lead again in The King of Comedy, a supporting actor in Goodfellas, the villain in Cape Fear, co-lead in Casino, lead in The Irishman, and a supporting character in Killers of the Flower Moon. There's enough variation in there, and Scorsese does this with a lot of actors, not just De Niro. He's worked with Joe Pesci, Harvey Keitel, Frank Vincent, Ben Kingsley, Ray Winston, and Daniel Day-Lewis anywhere from 6 to 2 times. But they've always been mix and match roles, never just the constant lead multiple films in a row. Supporting characters, cameos, villains, things like that. And it's not just because of DiCaprio, but he's definitely a reason why I think the works between him and Scorsese don't match up to the likes of Taxi Driver or Raging Bull. An introspective, complex, multi-layered performance was essential to the success of those two films, and perhaps the potential has been there for characters DiCaprio has played in the likes of The Aviator or Shutter Island, but it's never quite reached the heights of Scorsese and De Niro's heights. Scorsese's DiCaprio films are very good, very successful commercial and critical films that aren't reinventing the wheel. And I have talked about my issue with Scorsese's films in the noughties in another video on my second channel, but his works with De Niro are a master in their prime, paired up with one of Hollywood's greatest actors, two raw talents, an artistic kinship that played off each other into a whole new stratosphere. Scorsese crediting De Niro with vitalizing him when he was hospitalized after a coke overdose. Scorsese and De Niro locking out the producers who were banging on the door while they were filming the famous "You Talking to Me" scene in Taxi Driver. That kind of stuff can't be replicated with DiCaprio. If not for the fact that Scorsese is just too well known, too successful, too respected to be in that kind of position again, to do that kind of guerrilla filmmaking.